Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors, your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. Glad to hear this morning. Got a big show lined up as always, but first our weather brought to us by Haney Technical Center at the corner of Baldwin and Highway 77. Always go by and check out at the beginning of summer, check out all the programs they offer, all kind of interesting things. They got some short courses, long courses, so you can fit something in your agenda if you need to go ahead and look at some other avenues for your career, okay? Now, the high today is going to be 84, low tonight 72. Water temperature is right at 81 degrees, hit 81 yesterday. It's 81 today, so it's going to be really nice weather. Actually, we're about at the point in time you can go in and jump in and go swimming, so it's going to be nice. River readings. Take a look at the river readings. The Apalachicola Bluntstown this morning reading of 5.1. We talked about it yesterday. It's going to look good for the weekend. Got a little bit of a drop to it. Ideal fishing on the Apalachicola. Same on the Choctawhatchee at Carrollville. It's reading a 4.5. And it's about to level out. It was dropping a little bit yesterday. It's about to level out a little bit, so it's going to just be, again, both rivers are going to be in great shape. All the tributaries, all the feeder creeks, and all you got to do is go get some crickets and worms, and you're going to have yourself a good time this weekend on the river. I can promise you. The weather's going to be nice, and it's not too hot. It's just an ideal time to go fishing on the river. Okay, marine forecast. We're looking. Well, let's look at a tide chart. I'm sorry, tide chart first. The high tide this morning at 8:34 a.m. A low tide at 6:30 is brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn Funeral Home and Cemetery. Their motto is "When Caring Counts." They're right here on 23rd Street. Our tides really are building up today, but you look at on Saturday's tides, we mentioned this yesterday, Saturday's tides are really strong. It looks good, strong tide for Saturday. Okay, marine forecast will be southwest at about 10 to 15. All right, we'll take our break and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. So glad you're with us this morning. I know a lot of folks school's getting out, and everybody, all around the Panhandle, people getting ready for making summer plans. And I just hope you're including some good outdoor activities, some camping trips, and different kind of trips around with your family and outdoors. So we'll keep that in mind as we'll talk about it as the summer progresses. But right now, let's look at some pictures. I've got a couple midweek pictures. Here's one right here. James Westke, this is a little boy here. They got a nice king. King have been running, like I saw that yesterday on that video from Navarre Pier. The video which we showed, that they'd caught like 20 or 22 that morning, and they ran through, and so kings are running strong right now. And one thing I didn't mention this yesterday on that video, that Navarre Pier is the longest pier in Florida, so it was really fun getting out there. But this is Panama City Beach Pier right here. Okay, next picture, let's go to this one right here. This is Megan Daniel. Megan got a couple of flounders. She fished with her dad. She's home from college. She's a senior at the University of Florida. In fact, she's about getting ready to graduate. Her little sister was in my class this year. She's getting ready to go off to school. Good family and good job there, Megan. She's a good fisherman. Okay, here, Matt Smith took a little 10-year-old out. His family, a 10-year-old Skylar, is all smiles before releasing his big catch of the morning. Captain Matt Smith. Good picture there. Okay, good job, Matt. Let's see, we've got to bounce back over here. This is a friend of mine retiring, Ricky Foster. He's retiring also. Rick is a good fisherman. I am a fisherman, therefore I'm not here. I understand. I have exact sentiments. Okay, and I believe that's going to take all the pictures. Just had a couple of them this morning. I do have some news for the outdoors. I jotted down some news last night, just general miscellaneous news for the outdoorsman. We're looking at the U.S. Fish and Wildlife. I was reading on that last night. They were talking about the waterfowl population, and they've been doing it since 1955, sort of counting, and they don't count every little duck out there, but they have a way of these are, game biologists, and they have a way of sort of estimating the population of our ducks and all. And they've come up to the conclusion this past year, they finished all the data for this past year, and this is U.S. Fish and Wildlife now. This is not the Chamber of Commerce. This is a government agency that makes it, this is what they do. I had to read this twice because I just couldn't believe it. The population of our waterfowl has gone up 43%. Now, that is amazing, but if you stop and think about it, it's not going to be all that surprising because what has happened, organizations mainly like Ducks Unlimited, but a lot of private individuals just planted acres and thousands of acres of habitat, for ducks, and they've been protected. They've been well fed, and the hunters. There's no more of this commercial hunting, and people not going out and killing 75 ducks and that kind of stuff. I mean, we have limits and limits of reasonable limits. And you look at, we talk about this past year the redhead population and the canvasback population here in North Bay and West Bay. Guys were never hunted before, went out and were shooting ducks in the afternoon after school. Right? They were in my class. Coach, I'm gonna go duck hunting. They come out next day. Yeah, I got a couple of them. I got my limit. And they never duck hunted before. So that's a testimony right there. And here's a fact right here from U.S. Fish and Wildlife. So I just want to pass that on to you. Also, let's jump into the water. Lionfish. Lionfish are now being commercially harvested. And you get it at the fish market. I know I'm not sure if we got it here in the local fish markets. I do know in several places. I looked it up. It's $10 a pound, and that's cheaper than grouper and snapper. And it tastes really good. But make sure it's clean real good, and those tentacles and all that's out. Okay. The next note here. This jump over here to Alabama. Florida has this free fishing day where you don't have to have a license. Well, Alabama does the same thing. And the free fishing day in Alabama now is going to be on June the 11th. Okay, that'll be Saturday week. And also, that's fresh water or salt water. So you want to go see your cousin up there in Alabama, and you want to go fishing. That's the time to go. Go and call them up. Tell them to have a big supper cooked up for you, and you want to come visit with them, go fishing, and y'all will have a great time. Also, the gator hunt applications in Alabama are now on June the 3rd. Which is tomorrow. The applications to hunt gator in Alabama will be online on Alabama Game and Fish. And keep this in mind now, the world record gator came of all places last year, or 2 years ago now, came from Alabama. And you saw the video. I got to interview the young lady. She and her husband took that gator, and 15 foot, 3 inches. And it came from Alabama, so don't, everybody thinks it's going to come from Louisiana and Florida because of all the gators we have. But it didn't. It came from Alabama. So if you want to go hunt gators in Alabama, they're only going to pass out 260 permits for that. So keep that in mind. Okay? Just some miscellaneous news for the outdoorsmen. Let's take a break, and we're going to come right back. All right, welcome back. I want to say a special good morning to Ryan Cox up there in Taylorsville, Georgia. Ryan watches the show on YouTube. That's close to Rome, Georgia, up there in North Georgia. He said he ran across it about 3 or 4 years ago, and he said he works all day, he comes home, he sits down and eats supper, and he turns on TV and turns on YouTube and watches Panhandle Outdoors. So he called me yesterday. We had a good talk, and he comes down here like most Georgia and Alabama folks come down here and just vacation. So maybe we're gonna get up, maybe wet a hook or go to lunch or something. But appreciate the viewership on YouTube. All right. Now, got this little video coming up, and speaking of watching the show a long time, this goes back to some of the original videos I did, but it's on the hurricane and how it affects outdoorsmen. This is the hurricane season has started, of course, the first week of June. And we've personally had a lot of experience with these storms in my lifetime, and we get so many people that move in and settle in from other areas, and a lot of times they just really are not, just really don't understand the force and the ferocious winds that we have. It's awesome. And this video right here, this is actually a tropical storm from 2009, Tropical Storm Ida. And it was hit like 150 miles away, but still, I'm down at Cape San Blas, and you can just see the force of nature and how much wind and water we get. And this is like right after the storm hit. I mean, it was, we're a long way from it. The big one we had in this area, of course, was Camille in '69. And then, of course, in '95, the one that sort of hit us directly was Opal. But then we also had Ivan in '06, I believe, Hurricane Ivan in '05, '06, but that hit over Pensacola. But just severe damage, and I kind of overemphasize the importance of everyone just, it's sort of like a little boy crying wolf. We'll hear so much, oh, get out of here. But I promise you, folks, it can be real serious, and just always keep that in mind. If a storm is coming by, you need to have some kind of plan to get you and your family safe and get them out of here, and especially if you live anywhere close to the water, within a couple of miles of the water. And I can speak from firsthand experience on that. But anyway, this video, you got to excuse, this is really before we did a lot of good editing, so we've got You know, we got some bad filming in here, but I think that sort of goes. I sort of, you know, I look around some of these TV shows, and you see a lot of that now. A lot of these cameramen, they jerk back and forth like that, and you know, like, and I'm trying to be still, but that's the style. I mean, you look at some of these shows. I said that I'm thinking that's that cameraman's first year out of college when they're shooting that kind of video. But anyway, we're gonna roll this. This is '09, and I want you to understand the reason I'm showing it is just so you understand the power. And how strong these storms. This is a tropical storm, but you can see how it affected Cape San Blas, washed across the road a little bit already. So let's go ahead and watch this video. All right, folks, we're in the tropical storm Ida. It just came through several hours back. You always wonder what in the world the animals do, the birds and the deer and everything in a big storm. I want you to check this out. The top of that tree is an owl, and it is storming. That's probably the owl. Look at that. And the wind is blowing really hard. Okay, I'm gonna drive down the stump hole. You can see it is a blowing strong rain. All right, folks, here it is, right here at the stump hole. I'm going to try to put on my rain suit and jump out just for a couple of seconds, but it is extremely rough out here. And if I can just get a couple of seconds of footage for you. I don't know if you can see it now. It's busted through right in there, right at the top of that little gap. It came through last night sometime, and you see the debris all in the road. The engineering company just designed this and implemented it this past year, so this is first test, and this is just a tropical storm that hit about 150 miles away from here about 3 hours ago, and it's already busted through here. It's one of the most vulnerable places in the whole state of Florida, if not the most vulnerable. All right, here goes, folks. Here goes. I gotta get up these rocks. It's raining, cats and dogs. Hold on. All right, here it is. That's the stump hole in the rain. All right, I'm getting out of here. One more thing I want to show you. I was out here last night. None of these logs, look at these big logs that's washed up. None of these were on the beach last night. Look down and you can see all along the beach, these big old logs have just washed up. And that's a danger too. One thing we're going to take into account, all this stuff washing the shore during these tropical storms. All right, folks, down here in a ditch, okay, on Cape San Blas, in here with Dewey. I stopped and he was looking in the ditch. Dewey, what you see over here?
It's about a little 2-foot alligator.
Well, right after this big storm, had a lot of rain and all, and we're going to zoom in on him. You're just going to see his head right there.
He's about small enough I could wade in there and grab a hold of him.
Why don't you go in there and get him, and I'll keep the camera going. Dewey and I were talking. It is amazing what you see after these storms. But tell the folks what you just saw a little while ago.
Well, we were sitting in the house, dog barked, and poked my head out. There was 3 yearling bobcats. They were hunting. They were hunting behind the house. Storm had gone through. I guess they were hungry, and they kind of worked from one edge of the yard over to the other. Of course, I got a lot of brush back there.
Yeah.
A little video of them. We'll try to get that to you.
Okay. Good deal. Okay, I'm here at Indian Pass where the Apalachicola Bay comes out. You can see the storm has ended. In fact, the sun's getting ready to break out. There's St. Vincent Island over there. Look how clear this water is. You think after all this rain and wind, this water is really clear, but you can see it's rushing out like a river here at the boat ramp. You can see over here, a couple of guys already fishing, and right here you can see debris washed out the boat ramp. And I'll wash it out, just got it blocked off. It won't take long to clean up. At the Indian Pass campground. All right, here we are at Press Nails Bayside Marina. We'll take a look at it. It had a lot of wind and all. There are no campers, absolutely no campers out here. And the big thing I wanted to see was how far the water, now it's almost the middle of the day after. And check out where this water is. It's fascinating. Here is their building right here. The water's almost up. This water gets pushed up into the bays, all the bays in our area. The water gets pushed up in it. You can see it's way over the dock, almost up into the building, and it's about midday, the day after Ida. Okay, folks, welcome back. We're working on our we're trying to get you a pier report right here. We got on the phone right at Panama City Beach Pier. We have Ron. Right, we're gonna get a live report on what's going on at the pier. Ron, good morning.
Morning.
All right, tell us what's going on out there today, buddy.
Well, morning we're catching in late afternoon. We've been having better afternoons. Catch a few kings and small Spanish and a lot of hardtails. The mornings are starting off kind of slow because we got dead water, but later on in the day, things are picking up and they're catching a few.
Okay. All right, tell us what kind of bait they're using.
Well, mainly the kings, cigar minnows, and Spanish or gotchas, the lures.
Uh-huh.
So that's the main two baits right there.
Okay. Have you?
Now there is some redfish being caught on shrimp and cut bait.
Oh, good. Now, have you seen any pompano lately?
No, the pompano's been kind of slim this year. We started off early in the season there catching a few, but they kind of slimmed out on us right now.
Well, you know, Ron, I've heard that from all kinds of different sources, including myself. It was sort of a slow year this year on the pompano.
It sure has.
Have you? Okay, what about any big fish? Any tarpon showed up yet?
No, we haven't seen any tarpon or sailfish either.
Okay.
Usually we catch a few of them each year, but haven't seen any yet.
All right, well, that's a pretty good report. So folks, get out there this weekend and check up y'all, and they can catch some probably kings and Spanish, it looks like.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of them coming through, so they're sporadic, but they're there.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
All right.
That's Ron at the pier. I talked to Carrie, Buster, Ronnie, and all kind of guys work out there. But they all love to fish, and they'll keep you up on what's going on. So that's what's going on. Speaking of piers and all, it's fascinating. After I was at the Navarre Pier, we were at the situation where I started thinking, you know, at Panama City Beach Pier, we have two here. I have the County Pier and City Pier, and I started looking around, and you know, people volunteered me to do a lot of things in my retirement, and I'm sure they're going to do a lot of things. But one of the things I thought might be neat, I thought about this a long time ago when I had more time, but then when I had to start working for a living. But I thought it'd be neat to maybe travel around Florida and fish off each pier. And I may do that. I don't know what my schedule, but I'm not going to do it this coming year. It's stacked up this year, but on down the line, I might just. I was looking around for the different piers and all, and I ran across. Here's this picture right here. I may just fish the Panhandle Pier. We're starting off at Gulf Shore, actually going over to Alabama, of course, and just run through the Panhandle piers. These are all the piers here in the Florida Panhandle, and like I say, you got them Pensacola, then you got Navarre, coming over to Destin, then come down here. Now we got 3 piers here in Panama City, and people say, wait a minute, you got the County Pier and the City Pier, where's the other one? Well, the other one's right there at the State Park. So those 3 right there, and then you got that one down at the bottom at Mexico Beach. So really and truly, I think that would be good do a series of fishing off the piers in that situation there. Then I started thinking, well, what if you go, you know, I could do that. That'd be pretty easy. I'm going to do that, I promise you. I'm going to hit all of them. I've hit most of them anyway, but I thought, what if you go to northeast Florida, over towards Jacksonville, take a look at this schematic right here, pull up the piers. They got a lot of piers over there. I'm not familiar with hardly any of these, but I do know that I've been to Fernandina Beach up there in North End. Fernandina Beach, St. Mary's up there, all in that area. That is some good fishing. You got the river, the Savannah River coming out. Then down by Jacksonville, you got a St. John's River coming out. And, you know, the St. John's, it flows north. And one of the few rivers in North America that flows north, and it comes out there, And I do, when I was in college, I fished over there around Crescent Beach, but right there in the center. Crescent Beach, I've surf fished there, but there's a lot of piers up here in Jacksonville, and I'm not sure if I can fish all those. And a lot of those would be freshwater, okay? So then I pulled up one more schematic. I said, well, what about down here and down in the bottom? This is the best thing I could find. This is not really, I'm assuming this is Miami, and I'm assuming that's the bottom part of the state down there, but they just got them numbered 1 through 8. So I'm gonna have to do some research on those piers there. But I just thought it'd be a neat idea to be able to y'all excuse me, I'm getting a call here. I'm not supposed to call me during the show, but anyway, it'd be a neat idea to go fishing piers. So, and also I thought about some of the goals to do since I am now officially retired. Some of the things I can do. I thought about fishing every river system. I'm talking about a big river system. I've hit most of North Florida, but maybe I never fished much on the St. Johns River, and there's some good fishing there. But I want to go with some, not maybe a guide, but really some local people. I have some friends over in that area, and also have some friends over down around in central part of the state. I want to fish that. Florida's world famous for bass fishing, and back in college, I fished with some of my buddies in college, some of that area of Central Florida. But I want to go back to Central Florida and fish for some big bass around that Lakeland area, Winter Haven, and there's just some awesome places to fish. And I certainly want to do some of that. So, and then I also want to fish the Everglades, and I fished Boca Grande. I certainly want to go back to Boca Grande and fish it some more. That's a special place. So my retirement fishing goals have been set up for a long time. So hopefully what I got to do is just make me a schedule and just start going through them one at a time. But at the same time, sometimes I love just spontaneity, just sometimes just taking off and just going down to the creek, because I just got a call yesterday, the fish were biting. So I just want to do that. Okay, got to wrap things up. Tomorrow now we'll be coming in with a show. Of course, we'll have our famous Friday fishing report tomorrow, and give away some seafood, so be tuned in, okay? So thank y'all so much for watching Panhandle Outdoors. We appreciate the viewership. You do something good for your fellow man, and God bless.
Thanks for joining us for Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors features hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.